Ms. Nur Najiha from SuperMap, and Mr. Khairil Adam from Redmix Solution for their kind cooperation and willingness to organize this webinar. I want to welcome all participants to the first webinar on management of technology and innovation for 2022. At the Arshad Ayub Graduate Business School, we focus on business and management studies. However, managers also need to relook at science and technology across disciplines with the current situation. So in this webinar, cloud computing and geographical information systems seems to be around in Malaysia for quite some time, but how much do we know about them? This webinar aims to introduce and create awareness of the latest technological development related to information management technology. I hope this webinar will provide a new understanding of valuing technology as a potential solution to societal issues around us. Well, eventually, I hope the fresh perspective on technology and innovation will lead us to many business opportunities in the future. So I'm looking forward to the talks. I hope everyone will learn new things and enjoy the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khadija, for those inspiring words. We are also delighted to be in partnership with you in spreading the GIS knowledge. Next, let us welcome our guest speaker for today, Encik Adam, the Managing Director from Redmix Solutions Sdn Bhd. Encik Adam will be presenting to us about cloud computing at a glance. Encik Adam, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ms. Moderator, Dr. Khadija, ladies at SuperMap, ladies and gentlemen. Quite a pleasant Saturday. I can see the attendance. All right, hold on, yeah. So my presentation today. Okay. Right. My name is Khairil Adam Rosli. I'm the Managing Director of Redmix Solutions Sdn Bhd and also an AAGBS student. I'm proud to say that I'm a semester 3 doctor in business admin student. So Dr. Khadija is my lecturer and also my supervisor. So a little bit about the company. The 17 years old company. We are based in Kota Damansara. It's an IT company focusing, I can say for the past 5 years, we've been focusing a lot on cloud computing. And that's about it. So one of our major partner is Amazon Web Services or AWS. We are also the, I can say we are the managed service provider and also the select partner. Okay, these are the list of our services, starting from the customer enablement, the cloud services, professional services and consulting, and also administration of cloud. We do also have our call center and support services. Sorry. Yeah. Right. Before I go further, I would like to show you a video. And this is courtesy by AWS Indonesia. And what I can see here, more than 50% of our attendees are Malaysian. So I believe you guys understand what it is all about, ya.
Tapi memang kamu kerja di situ kan, Lip? Yang pencet-pencet.
Aplikasi. Iya, itu salah satu kerjaan Adit memang untuk bikin aplikasi di internet.
Dari dulu, kakek pengen tahu internet itu apa sih?
Internet itu
Nggak tahu internet itu apa nih? Udahlah.
kemarin kan Adit belum bisa jawab pertanyaan kakek soal internet. Nah, di dalam kamar ini, Adit udah buat sesuatu untuk menjawab pertanyaan kakek.
Penasaran?
Adit persembahkan internet. Internet itu adalah jaringan komputer-komputer yang saling terhubung. Internet itu kayak laptop Adit, komputer kakek, dan handphone kita ini juga komputer kek. Di sisi perusahaan, komputer mereka jauh lebih besar dan lebih kuat kek. Mereka ini disebutnya server. Nah, server-server dan proses perhitungan komputer yang terjadi di sini, itu yang dinamakan cloud computing atau komputasi awan. Misalnya kemarin nih kayak Adit pesen tiket kereta. Informasi pesanan tiket Adit ini dikirim dari HP Adit dan jalan tuh kayak melalui wifi, melalui kabel-kabel, melalui satelit, terus jalan sampai ke server perusahaan tiket. Nah, server perusahaan tiket tadi ngobrol dengan server perusahaan kereta api. Ada nggak kursi buat Adit? Oh, ada nih. Nah, jawaban ini akan dikirim lagi ke server perusahaan tiket, baru dikirim ke Adit. Lalu kan Adit bayar ke server bank. Nah, server bank ngobrol dengan server perusahaan tiket. Ini baru satu Adit, kayak. Misalkan ini data nih, kayak. Bayangkan ada miliaran orang, ada yang mesen tiket, pesan obat online, belanja online, ada yang nonton streaming kayak. Dan karena semua data hilir mudik ini nggak terlihat, terus seakan-akan mereka naik aja gitu ke langit. Makanya sekarang bentuknya udah kayak apa kayak?
Kayak awan.
Makanya disebut cloud computing.
Itu apa?
Nah, kalau ini namanya data center. Karena permintaan data hilir mudik ini semakin banyak dan semakin rumit, makanya perusahaan-perusahaan ini membutuhkan server-server yang jauh lebih besar dan lebih kuat. Seperti yang dimiliki data center perusahaan tempat Adit bekerja, AWS. Di AWS, proses cloud computing bisa jadi jauh lebih cepat, lebih canggih, lebih aman, dan kapasitasnya jauh lebih besar. Mereka itu punya data center di 25 lokasi di seluruh dunia.
Kakek bangga betul sama kamu. Itu awannya bagus banget.
Ya, itu dari bantalnya kakek.
Bantalnya mana?
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, let's go on the cloud computing itself. So it is defined as a model of enabling convenient on-demand network access to shared pool of compute in 2011. So a little bit of history about cloud computing. So you can see here, everything starts, the journey starts as early as 1960. Yeah? The first interconnectivity, I can say internet, developed by this ARPANET, there is an Advanced Research Project Agency Network in 1969. So in 1989, the WWW was born. 1997, cloud computing were first defined. And the first actual cloud computing in physical was created in 2006 by Amazon, where their first product by name of EC2 or Elastic Compute Cloud was launched. Then you can see comes Gmail, Google Cloud Platform, 2010, Microsoft with their Azure. So on worldwide spending, worldwide cloud infrastructure grew 35% year on year to 49.4 billion. That was in Q3 2021. You can see it really increased, yeah. So the top 3 cloud service providers accounted for 61% of total cloud spend in Q3 2021. You can see here, it's AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. The others is around another 39%, namely Oracle Cloud, Alibaba, Tencent Cloud, etc. So Gartner has recognized AWS as the leader for the 11th straight year. That was in 2021. So in terms of Cloud Readiness Index, as of us, Malaysia is number 8 in Asia. This study was done by this Asia Cloud Computing Association in 2020, where the main factor in increasing cloud computing adoption is about government policy, government online services, broadband infrastructure, creative industry, and cybersecurity awareness. So about the cloud computing model, the first one is the private cloud. So let's say private cloud is more like a government cloud, or maybe a university cloud. University, they have their own data center, they have their own private cloud. Then comes the public cloud. Public cloud is the cloud offers by the cloud service providers such as Google, Oracle, AWS, Alibaba, etc. And hybrid cloud is the combination of both, where you have an appliance of the from the cloud service provider in the private cloud. That is called hybrid cloud. And there is a pros and cons for every types of cloud. But as you can see, the most significant one is to own a private cloud is really expensive. And for us people who has been using all the, I can say all the services, computer services, we engage with a provider who engage the CSP. So in terms of cloud computing services model, the basic ones, there are 3. Yeah. So it started with the infrastructure as a service, where you have an app, you can migrate on it. This thing is more like the storage, server, backup, replication. Then comes the platform as a service, where you have all the tools, where you build on it. You can have machine learning, IoT, blockchain, etc. And the final one is for the end user, that is software as a service, where you use it. And you can see SuperMap is one of it. And we have our own MySejahtera here in Malaysia, Grab, Facebook, Netflix. So this is how a real physical cloud look like. It's just a big data center with a lot of machines. So as of, in order for us to offer a very good cloud services, you need to have a global infrastructure. You can see here, as of course, because I'm the partner of AWS, I have to tell about AWS, and I have no right to speak on behalf of Microsoft or Google. Yeah, but as of AWS, we have regions and zones all over the world, And the latest was in Indonesia, that was launched late December last year. And soon, maybe they are coming to Malaysia, maybe. So in terms of product category, you can see with all the analytics, compute is the machines, virtual servers, and with all the game tech, database, containers. I mean, if I go, I really refine on this, it's going to be a very technical discussion. So we have now the traditional infrastructure against cloud. So you can see, as of the traditional infrastructure, you're going to have a large capital expense, higher variable cost, guessing on capacity. New IT resources take weeks or months running and maintaining data centers. We have contracts, but on cloud, it is very flexible. Trade capital expense for variable expense, benefits from massive economies of scale, stop guessing capacity, increase speed and agility. stop spending money running and maintaining data centers, and go global in minutes. So why we move to cloud? As per the previous slide, cost saving, scalability, competitive edge, security, disaster recovery, increased collaboration, mobility, insight, quality control, and sustainability. And the big thing when we start to engage cloud, it's about change management. So if you migrate a bad business process to the cloud, it will continue to be a bad business process that just runs faster. So it's purely about change. So preparation before moving to the cloud. The first thing you can see as of in the video just now, you need internet infrastructure. Without internet, there won't be any cloud. Of course, knowledge and exposure, prepare in changing workflow and policy, compatibility, interoperability with legacy system, cybersecurity, and also choosing the right cloud service provider. So 4 steps of cloud adoption. We can start with a small project, be it a small apps or website or anything. Then we go to the next level, which is the foundation. When you feel happy with the system and the way it works, you can start to migrate and retire all the technical debt. Technical debt means all the legacies product. Then we start to reinvent and optimize the usage. So here are some of the challenges of cloud. As you can see, the big ones, the normal ones that it's norm everywhere is security and privacy. Then the second one is about managing cloud spending, because in terms of usage, the approach can be a pay-per-use method. Pay-per-use method. It's more like your electrical bills. You use, you pay, you switch off your light, the meter stops. That is how cloud computing is. And also the governance, control, compliance, service quality, availability and reliability, portability, lack of resources and expertise. That's the main challenge here in Malaysia now, lack of resources and expertise. So in terms of security, for AWS, I think, and also for all the other cloud service provider, we have this shared responsibility model. You can see the blue ones is the security, the thing that is supposed to be the responsible of the client, where customer is responsible for the security in the cloud, which means the customer data, platform application, identity and access management, operation system network, and firewall configuration. That also consists of username and password. And for AWS itself, they are responsible for the global infrastructure, meaning about the cloud itself. So the thing in the cloud still, the customer is responsible of it. The problem now is with the users, they thought that the cloud provider is responsible for everything. That is when hiccup happens. So these are more like the certifications and accreditations owned by AWS, which makes them can operate globally. And as on our side, we are also offering certifications for AWS certifications, such as the basic ones, the cloud practitioner. And we go to the solution architect and above. If there's anything, you can always contact us. We can give you consultation, and we can also lead you on to get AWS certification, because cloud is really in demand. I think that's all for now on my side. It's 15 minutes as per the time given by to me by the organizer. Thank you very much. If there's any question, I think let me just have a look. No. If there's any question, please, you can always throw me a question, or else I pass it to the organizer.
Thank you, Encik Adam, for sharing with us such amazing topic. I'm sure we all get new knowledge today. Now, let us watch a SuperMap introduction video and get a brief intro about SuperMap. So now that you already know about 5 key technology of SuperMap GIS, which we call BitDC. BitDC, which stands for Big Data GIS, Artificial Intelligence GIS, Three-Dimensional GIS, Distributed GIS, and Cross-Platform GIS. So based on our topics for today's webinar, let's look deeper about our SuperMap disaster management solutions with Ms. Anis Farhana, our Business Development Employee of SuperMap Asia and Oceania Center. Ms. Anis, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Caribel. Okay, so good morning, everyone. So for today, I will be sharing with you about SuperMap disaster management solutions. Okay, actually from the last session, from the last webinar, we already talked about how to integrate the multi-source 3D data. And then for this session, we will talk about one of the applications from the integrity of the multi-source 3D data, which is for disaster management. So for this one is specifically for earthquake. Okay, now what can SuperMap GIS do for earthquake? So first, we will build the 3D seismic model, and then we will do the earthquake simulation, and then we can do the further analysis for the earthquake. And then the last one is about the emergency management whenever the earthquake incident happens. So first, let me talk about the build 3D seismic tectonic model. Okay, so seismic tectonic actually is a term that usually applied to the study of earthquake occurrence and characteristics, and also its relation to the tectonics of a particular region and the overall dynamics of the earth crust. So from here, instead of using basic 2D expressions, the TIN, grid, 2D point, 2D line, and so on, So we will show the seismic tectonic in 3D, which is using TIM and also grid for a better visualization and also for the further understanding and analysis. So now I will explain to you what is TIM and what is water grid. Okay, so TIM is stands for tetrahedralized irregular mesh. It is actually irregular deviation of the 3D continuous space of a phenomenon. So for the geological body, it can express the oval body, the property field, the dam formation, and etc. And then for the operation to generate the TIM, it's actually from the XYZ point. And then from that, we will build the 3D domain here. And then we we interpolate all of them, and then we will get the TIM. And then to get the water grid is from the interpolation of TIM. So I will talk further what is water grid after this. Okay, so in terms of geological volume data model, it supports the import of 3D geological model data that exchange the format Geo3D ML format. And then it connects with the geological modeling software such as Grid IND. So from here, you can do the underground space development, the ground subsidence, groundwater pollution, and then the porosity, permeability, water saturation. So now what is is a technology that use the past, time, and wave field of seismic waves that generated by the artificial source to detect the buried depth, shape, physical structure, and other geometry and physical properties of underground rock layers. And then to understand the underground geological structure as to discover the hidden fault, the spatial geological structures such as system. And so let's take a look at a case like this. So the National Seismological Network Center has produced a high precision seismic velocity sensing data. And then from here, we can import the data into the SuperMap platform, and then we can interpolate into the water grid data model, and then finally publish into the WebGL client for visual expression. So through the underground three-dimensional structure model displayed on the SuperMap platform, it is convenient to check the propagation velocity of seismic waves at different depths, and also the longitudinal section of the ground. And then the abnormal values in the same underground depth provide a reference for the study of the internal structure and also the earthquake prediction as well. So these are examples of the geological body function that we have. So you can do the clip, drill, exploit, cut, scale, profile, and also stretch. Okay, so this one is a simulation for the seismic wave. So the attribute can include the frequency, energy, waveform, autocorrelation of seismic record, resolution, SLR is signal to noise ratio, autoregressive analysis, and etc. And then this one is the simulation for the earthquake. So the color here expresses the different properties. So from this video is to show how high is the movement of the seismic wave of the earthquake. So it can be changed into another application that being preferred by the user for this simulation. And now let's move on to the third one, which is analysis of earthquake characteristics. So the data inside here is mainly to analyze and display the data through all of the abundant charts here. And then in order to facilitate the output of result for reporting and then to get the latest data data insight that support the mixed layout of text, pictures, and charts. You can also share the workspace online and also support the export features and PDF for reporting. So it can enhance the data access capability. So from here, the H-based data source can be used, and then also the shapefile data also can be used for the data insight here. So this one is using our iPhone. And then from there, you can view it using the website, web platform, and also from the mobile platform as well. And then this one is the example for the spatial analysis. So this one is using the buffer. So when you create the buffer using the data insight, so you can load the buffer data into the online mapping web. And then after that, you can further create the map and also share to the public. And then there is also another analysis. So this one is the distribution and time of the earthquake. So this is an example that we got from our case study. So from here, you can analyze that earthquake always occur at the junction of plates, and then most earthquakes occur in the early hours of the morning. So now let's move on to the emergency management. Okay, so to do this emergency management, so of course we need to measure the affected area first. And then after that, you can analyze the field and cut of the affected area. And then next, you can plot the disaster area from most affected to the less affected. By then, it is possible to do the rescue work. You can measuring the safety for the relevant crew to evacuate the victim and so on. And then in SuperMap, we also provide a dynamic plotting and simulation. So here, the red one is the movement of the earthquake on the photos. And then the yellow is show the safe part. And then finally highlight the evacuation center for the victim and also for the relevant crew. Okay, so now it's about using the oblique photography that will be integrated into GIS for the emergency response. So the 3D model of the monitoring area with measurement information is established by the UAV oblique photography, which can provide the strong support for accurate evaluation. So from the one oblique photography, so when you import it into SuperMap platform, it can provide 4 different kinds of outputs. So the first one is DSM. So DSM is the digital surface model. And then the LG stands for digital line graph. And then we have DOM, digital orthophoto model. So for oblique here, you can get the aerial photo. And then the last one is the street profile. And then for the emergency rescue, this one is in the Lydian earthquake rescue. So from here, UAV operators will be involved because we will be using drone and the oblique photography. And then for the geologists will be needed because they will need to do the slope, terrain, road engineering analysis. And then for the civil engineering part, we need to do the construction for the disaster preparation and also after the reconstruction work. Okay, so now it's about using the mobile platform because I think that is the most relevant device for the emergency rescue because we always have it in our hands. So from the utilize the mobile phone only, we provide the site rescue map, rescue information collection, site rescue reporting, BDS short message, remote consultation, and disaster thematic map. So first, site rescue map. So it supports the online map and offline map. So in order restricted by the condition, so it provides the really focus with various forms of professional maps, such as topography maps and image maps, so as to lay a solid foundation for the smooth development of the rescue work. And then the rescue information collection is the on-site rescue that mainly realize the rapid collection of collapsed buildings, damaged roads, and dangerous resources. So it provides the form that filling function and multimedia forms to facilitate the user to improve the survey data. So it can include by adding the local pictures, camera photos, sketchpad editing, voice accessories, and other multimedia methods. And then for our site rescue reporting, so we have rich symbol resources. We have the line style, series style that combined with the hand drawing, graffiti function, so it can quickly and richly extract the scheduling or combine information. So it can reduce the waste of time and personnel caused by poor communication, is conducive to the rapid and efficient work. So BDS stands for Beidou Short Message. So in order to prevent the on-site network interruption and unable to communicate through the mobile network, so BDS receiving and sending function is to provide and then to ensure the smooth communication between the crew and also between the victim as well. And then for the remote expert consultation, you can send the on-site information to the expert in the wire and then ask the expert to provide the treatment team online so as to provide reference for the rescue team. And then according to the template that we have, for thematic maps such as rescue situation map, building collapse proportion statistical map, and population distribution map of disaster area are generated by one click only. So it means that we already have the built-in map, so you just need to click which one that you need to be generated and published to the public. And then the earthquake rescue information service terminal realize the function fast collection and reporting of earthquake rescue information, online consultation of experts, and BDM sending and receiving. Okay, so now we already finished with the emergency for the earthquake, and then it can be applied actually for the other natural disasters such as tsunami, floods, fires, hurricanes, and etc., which I will show in this section. Okay, so natural disaster brings harm to human survival or damage human to the environment. So in SuperMap, we support disaster data reporting, disaster collecting, disaster management, on-site data collection and reporting, and then on-site multi-terminal coordination, disaster site map service, on-site disaster verification, disaster assessment, comprehensive disaster information publishing service, and then the last one is disaster information theory and sharing. And then from the content that has been presented by Mr. Khairil Adam in the previous session, so cloud computing is very, very important to make all of this to be work efficiently. And then from the cloud platform and services, these are the list of systems that we can use for the disaster management. So from this section, it's based on our successful project in Indonesia. Okay, so for the one system, actually we will collect the data or news from internet, which can come from the little website, social media, report submission, and etc. So all of this data will bring such a massive amount of data. So with the big database, they integrate our big data technology. So it can support the huge amount of data to be analyzed by the related organization, and that can be visualized by using desktop, web, or mobile platform. So after a detailed and quick analysis, it can directly publish to the public through social media platform or SMS messages to the mobile phone user within the affected area. So these are one of our demos before. So this one is using Telegram and also WhatsApp and SMS. And then this one is from the web platform. Okay, so after the warning has been reached the victim, so fast response and evacuation needs to be done. So in this system, we provide the location of the evacuation and then the route evacuation public, facilities location, and public facility route. So at the same time, there's also a system for the real-time report by officers, monitor the real-time location of the officer, and then we can display the officer location using the satellite. So at the evacuation center, the yellow dot here, so the field officer can update on the disaster inventory update, the victim numbers, and etc. And it can send it directly to the relevant organization in real time. So this one shows the monitoring map of the evacuation staff. So from here, you can see the affected area, the evacuation center, and many more. So this one is the example of map for the information search based on location and social media. And then this is where you can find the nearest public facility from the affected area. Actually, from here, you can turn on and turn off the layers that you need to review on this map. So there is also a public report, and then we also provide the navigation routes to respond to disaster. And then from the web report, it can also be accessed directly using the mobile phone. So it's like the same system in a different platform. So this one is task management. So this one is be filled by the officer. So the form filling can be the information on the number of victims. So it can be type of accident, step pass, and also multimedia collected directly, such as the picture, video, and also audio. And then for the monitoring and reconstruction, so we can conduct the assessment of losses due to the disaster, such as the population, the collapse building, damaged roads, food crops, and etc. And then we can also conduct an assessment of reconstruction costs according to disaster losses. And then for the disaster mitigation, we can plan costs and schedule for post-disaster reconstruction. And then there is also a quick identification field conditions, such as area of affected area or the affected road that can be updated using a mobile phone. Okay, so we can perform measurement and analysis on mobile in the affected area. So this one, this is the image from drone or satellite. And then you can determine the affected area by using the polygon tools or by using line, which can be drawn by using hands only. And then you can, next you can digitize and do the attribute link. So the attribute can be based on the what is the name of the affected area, like the village or something, or the number of victims and so on. And then there is also a navigation and information filling. So navigation can be from the field officers, and then we can give the safe pass to the victim as well. So this one is actually we call it a GIS SAR. So it's a personalized application of location-based assisted research and rescue operations. So it has the main function of uploading location, reporting new disaster, get the best path to disaster, task management, and etc. So it can help the rescuer to greatly pick up the efficiency of search and rescue and improve the success rate of search and rescue operations. So that is all for me. So I talk about disaster management that can be integrated by using our mobile, desktop, and web as well. So all of this needs to be connected from the cloud. So that's a summary for the talk today. Thank you very much for your time. So Caribel, I'm giving the floor back to you.
So thank you, Ms. Anis, to sharing with us with such an interesting topic. That's just a sneak peek of the application that can be done with the SuperMap GIS technology for disaster management. While you are letting all of that sink in, maybe you can also start wondering on how you can utilize these kinds of technology in your field or industry. We are excited to hear about what you come up with, and we are very open to collaborate with you to make that happen. If you have any questions while listening to Ms. Anis, please head to the chat box below and our team members will answer them as soon as possible. So at this point, let us have a quick 2-minute break. Meanwhile, kindly fill out the feedback form found in the chat box below and in the slide here. The form will be open until the end of the webinar. See you again in a while. And now we are back. So for our second and last topic, Ms. Najiha Yahaya, our technical engineer of SuperMap Asia and Oceania Center, will be presenting to us an online demonstration on identifying the areas that most prone to the least prone towards flood disaster. Ms. Najiha, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Claribel, for the introduction. So today I'm going to show you the recorded live demonstrations on the flood analysis, where we can, at the end of the tutorial, I will show you the flood simulation that been done by the SuperMap product, which is 10 iDesktop, and also the flood analysis by the hydrological analysis in order for us to see the stream orders based on the strata methods. So let me share you the screens on the recorded live versions, and I will explain you all the way the steps together. All right. All right, so as you can see here, here is the interface of iDesktop SuperMap product, which is iDesktop. So let me start the recording versions. So first, you will enable the data source. The data source first by clicking the new file data source, and you can name it as per your project. And so for this tutorial, I will just name it as study case. So from that, right click and then import the data sets. And then in SuperMap product iDesktop, it can be supported in different kind of formats. So for this tutorial, the format that I will be using is in shapefile and also TIF. So here is the example for the different kind of files that can be supported by SuperMap products. So I will sort it into the types and also enable all the shapefile data and also the TIF file. The data can be gathered along the way from your project and also or from the open source. So first, you need to change the TIF into raster so that you can enable the data from the raster profile. Okay, so it has been uploaded. So drag the raster profile to the map in order for us to see the raster. And then for this tutorial, I will show you the only a specific area. For example, here, this area in the middle to show the study areas of in Bangladesh country. So you can edit the transparency of the study area in order for you to see two layers in one map. So you can edit the boundaries here also. All right, now we only need to label the country, the district in Bangladesh. So from here, basically if you have the data from Malaysia also, you can enable this also. So create the thematic maps. So we just clicking the label map in order for us to see the labels. So click the unique value styles. And for here, it will show different kind of expressions. So let me show you the different kind of expressions and choose the one related to the name. So for here, the tutorial will be shows at the areas of Hamganj in district Bangladesh. So now we already have the study area that we wanted, right? So we can proceed together to only enable that layers only. So I will just name it as Hamganj, so as a new data source, so that we can unenable all the district and only select Hamganj. So from here, you can enable only the study area by clicking the map click. So let me show you on how to analyze and also only to disable the study area. So click the map click and then choose select object area click. And then from here, you the targeted dataset can be changed name in order for you to have the in order for you to not have study areas not related to others. So you can name it as per requested. So from here, I will name it as study area and also change the data sets to raster so that you will not have any confusion to digitize the data afterwards. All right, click OK after you have edited all the names. All right, so here we are going to have a new data source, and then we only choose the data source that related to hard engage. So drag the raster data. So from here you can see we have already successfully selected the study area only. So as simple as that. So now you can also able to edit the transparency of the model so that you can see the boundaries and also the raster at the map. Click now for you to see the study areas even more beautiful ways. So now we will undergo hydrology analysis in order for us to see the stream orders, the watersheds, basin, and many more. So click hydrology analysis, and then this is all the module under hydrology analysis. So all of this module will be run simultaneously, so you do not have to undergo it one by one. So this is all the result that will be gained under the hydrology analysis. So you just need to, this is all the details and further informations for every features that will be done after this. So we have the watershed, you can have the basin, you can also have the stream order, the water system, and also the flow directions. So first, we will start with field sync. So make sure that the input and output of the data is already at the study area and click ready. So moving on next is the flow directions. Also make sure that it is related to each other, click ready also. So the same steps is going to be repeated all the steps. So for the flow length, you can choose whether you want to make sure the stream are being going upwards or downwards. So all of these steps are being correlated to each other and it will appear a red if there's any difficulties or error in the between. All of these steps are in SuperMap products. All of these steps can be done in a one model compared to we have to analyze it one by one. So from here, the pixel format can be edited. So from this one, I would choose the bit 16, but it can be differs based on your liking. So in this tutorial, we are going to see the different types of stream orders. So I will choose the Strathler models, and then you can have a research on what is the differences between Strift and also Strata models. All right, the last step for the hydrology analysis models. And then after all of it have been clicked together, click run for us to enable all the results. As you can see here, all the results can be gathered in a few seconds. And I will show you the results on every kind of layers in a raster format. So from here, you can do your further analysis based on your project where we can analyze on different kind of hydrology analysis. But today, in this tutorial, I will only show you the stream orders on how to differentiate the stream orders and also how stream orders can be correlated to the watersheds and also basins. So drag the field sync results to see the field sync results. So here is the results for field sync, and this one is the result for flow directions. So you can enable and unenable based on your likings and also based on your projects. So here is the flow length. Let me show you the watershed results. So after undergoes the hydrology analysis, here is the watershed analysis that have been done in the study area, which is Having Batch. And also this is the results for basins. And then as you can see, the stream order are correlated to the basins. So as you can see here, each basin has their own stream orders. So first, you cannot see the stream orders, right, in a very beautiful ways because the colors are being not very beautiful. So you can just edit the styles based on your likings and also the width of the stream orders. All of these colors and features are also enabled on SuperMap products. So for here, you can see all the stream orders, right? So in strata model, you can identify the stream order into their own classes. So in this tutorial, I will show you the stream orders based on strata model at the Harding Gauge study area. So first, you can analyze the data first based on how many stream orders are there. This is based on the attribute tables. So you can just, rather than you can scroll all the data and then calculate it one by one, so you can just filter the data in order for you to see all the stream orders. So right click on the stream orders, click on filter, and then it will show you on how many stream orders are there. So in this tutorial, they have all 4 stream orders. All right. So now we will enable the hill shades under the surface analysis so that we can also enable the under the surface analysis, we can choose to see the hill shades. So add the data, which is the raster data, so that you can see the hill shade at the study area. Click on the Harding Gauge, and then you can choose the raster, and then click OK. So from here, you can also name the raster into whatever name that you wanted. So here I will just name it as hill shade so that it can be easy to identify. So now we already have the hill shade formats layers. So now we are going to drag the hill shades into our map in order for us to see the hill shades. This can also be identified on different kinds of projection that you wanted. So from here, you can see the hill shade of the study area. So I would presume that hill shade can be shown in a very beautiful ways by clicking the enable for the color black and white. So let us set the color from yellow to black and white for us to see the hill shades in even more beautiful ways. So you can choose whatever colors that you wanted that have been given in the products. So we have different kind of colors in SuperMap products that you can choose based on your likings. For example, here. So I will just choose, for example, hill shades. Click OK. So now you can see the hill shades even more clearer and based on that. So you can drag the layers manager in order for you to see which ones overlays each other. So from here, you can see the stream orders on the hill shades. Other than that, you can also enable 2 different kinds of layers in the same map. For example, here, I want to show the raster, the study area on the hill shade layer. So click layer properties and then just choose the transparency. So you can edit the transparency based on your liking. So in this tutorial, I will choose about 50 for us to see the transparency of both layer manager on the layer manager. So enable that raster. you can click, you can drag the raster, choose the flooding analysis. So for example, here I will just show you a very square region of the areas, for example, you want to see, but it can also be selected on the study area, but I will show you in a very small area so that you can see. So as you can see, that is the flooding simulation that will happen at the area that I already digitized the squares. So on your right hand side, there's a parameter setting, right? So that will be more can be edited based on the colors and also what kind of altitude that you wanted to see. So for example here, if you wanted to change the texture color from light blue to more deeper blue, you can also edit that. And also you can edit the transparency, edit plus more or minus more, you can just edit it. So the current altitude right now is 115, right? So that is the highest altitude for the study area that I have been the square one. So you can also edit the time scale, the time of the flooding analysis, and then you can play it back on the play system. You can also edit the speed. So let me show you one more again, the final results of the flooding analysis. So here you can have a real simulations of your study area on which area are most prone toward flood and also the least areas that can have flood analysis. All right, I think that's all from my side. And all of these steps can be done by the SuperMap iDesktops. And I think that is all for me. Thank you so much for everyone to hear my live demonstrations. And if you have any questions, do ask me after this. And thank you so much. Claribel, you can have this. So.
Wow, that's just incredible. Thank you very much, Ms. Najiha, for sharing with us with such an amazing demonstration. And there we have it. Our speaker had just given us a comprehensive presentation of SuperMap GIS geospatial approach to disaster management. We hope that this has sparked your curiosity because we are happy to announce that we will be offering a free 3-month trial license and certificates of attendance to our participants here. If you have any questions or concerns, just send us a message or an email as you can see on the slide here. And please feel free to visit the SuperMap website to get more information about the company. We also wanted to invite you all to follow SuperMap GIS on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on, because we are constantly posting about the latest GIS trends and what SuperMap is currently up to. So now is our Q&A sections. We hope that by this time it's bringing you some new ideas on your current project, research, or businesses. So the first question is, there are some questions for Ms. Najiha.
All right, I will answer the question first. So it's the stream ordering method are only limited to shift and straddle. I would say it's not only limited to that. You can also edit it based on your method. But on this tutorial, I will show you only both of that. But it is not possible to have a Horton stream method. But I haven't encountered the Horton stream method before. Let me check first whether it can be done. And I would say that we can have the analysis based on the Horton stream method. So my answer would be, I would say that the analysis can be done by the Horton stream methods. All right, the next question is about what is the size of the area. So the size of the area can be identified based on the project actually. So you can enable the size, I would say something like in Bangladesh, we can have like a very different kind of sizes based on the likings. But the answer would be it can be analyzed in a different kind of sizes. So in this tutorial, I will just show you a very limited size first, and it can be analyzed based on your project. Next question is from Farhana. Have SuperMap have success story that use the disaster management by SuperMap? Yeah, we do have global cases, but not in Malaysia, because in Malaysia, SuperMap has only entered the market. It's in a very limited, in a very short period of time. So I would say that we also have very successful cases enable the disaster management in other regions. So you can see the results on the website for SuperMap on the successful cases, I would say. All right, next question is, instead of digitalizing the whole landscape, can you just import data from Google Earth? Yes, it can also enable the data from Google Earth, where in SuperMap product, in iDesktops, where we have iDesktop 10i and also iDesktop 10x, iDesktop X. So in both product, we can just import the data from Google Earth. But the step would be you have to export first, and then you can go through the steps as I can be done before. Next question is, any chances of data leakage? If yes, what is the control? I would say the data leakage is based on your cloud storing, and also the because we can also because SuperMap is a service provider where we can only integrate the data that you have given, that you have put it in our SuperMap products. So I would say, Ms. Anis, I would say that there is no the chances of data leakage is only based on your project and also your capabilities on towards that.
Okay, in SuperMap, actually we have the what do we call it, blockchain technology. So the data leakage issue, it will be very, very minimal. So there will be no problem about the data leakage.
All right, next question is, can it use their own proprietary file formats? For example, FGDB in SuperMap. All right, so in SuperMap, we can supported different kind of formats. For example, GID, shapefiles, and many more, not only for ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS RMap or ArcGIS Pro. I haven't not encountered the FGDB format, but you can try first on the SuperMap products on the website, whether it can compatible or not. I'm not sure how to answer the question because I haven't encountered FGDB format in SuperMap, but I would say that we have supported a lot of kinds of formats in SuperMap products. Last is, can it compatible with enterprise system sample, SAP system? Enterprise system, it's a complex way. For me personally, I haven't done that, but I would say that it can be done. It is compatible with the enterprise system. I would say like that, but let me check first whether it's compatible or not. I'm not sure about that, but my answer for now, I believe it is, but I will check it back for you guys. So there is one question for Miss Anis from Dr. Hadiza. If you can see on the chat. If you may share, the question is, if you may share how about GIS acceptance and adoption in Malaysia, who are the providers and relevant parties that should be having GIS to help them? So basically the question is, which parties can use GIS in the future? Something like that.
Okay, thank you, Dia. Okay, thank you, Dr. Harijah, for your question. So actually for the GIS acceptance and adoption in Malaysia, it's very, very convincing. So a lot of services have been used GIS in their services. So for example, it's like the real estate, the oil and gas, and even of course, the construction services. And then there is also UAV based services. And then there's a lot more. So I would say the GIS acceptance in Malaysia is very, very convincing. So the issue is that some of the company might not be able to see the GIS capabilities in their services. So in some ways, in SuperMap, we already provide a lot of solutions for all of the different industries. So we just need to expose to them about the capabilities of GIS in the different industry and also in different services. And then who are the providers or relevant parties that should be having GIS? So actually for the government, we have National Geospatial Center. So from that, you can get the data like the road, the house. So from there, you will get the raw data. And then of course, there will be a procedure to get the data and so on. So that's the main provider for the GIS in Malaysia right now. And then there is also for JUPEM as well, because JUPEM is Jabatan Ukur dan Pemetaan Malaysia. So for JUPEM, they do they did the field work, so that there is also the focus for the raw data for Malaysia. So the relevant parties for government, I would say they will be from National Geospatial Center and also JUPEM. And then for the private agency, there will be a lot. So as I mentioned before, so it can come from UAV operator, and then there is also a geologist as well, and also the oil and gas company. So oil and gas company, there's some department that can apply GIS. So as far as I'm concerned, Shell and Petronas already applied GIS in their services. So yeah, that's the relevant parties, that the biggest relevant parties that can use GIS for the private agency. Yes, thank you.
All right, I misunderstand the Ahmad Shazwan's questions. Does SuperMap has their own priority file pre-priority file format? Yeah, we do have SuperMap own format, which is UDBX, UDP and UDBX. So that is the pre-priority file format. But in SuperMap product, we can also supported FGDB in SuperMap. So that is my question. Sorry for misunderstanding your questions. Is there any questions from the floor? All right, one more question. The SuperMap has base map repositories. I would say that SuperMap has only online base map. So because SuperMap is a service provider, so compared to data storing and where we can have all the data, so I would say that SuperMap has their own online base map that can be generated. So if there is no, but because we are being right now in Malaysia, we are going to integrate the data from Malaysia, right? So it's kind of it's kind of late on updating the base map in Malaysia. So we do have an online base map for that. So I think that's all for the questions.
Yeah, I think that's all for our Q&A section today. But if you still have any questions or would like to know more about SuperMap, please feel free to send us a message as well. Yeah, one more question, Ms. Najha.
Right, one more question. All right, how SuperMap can assist financially in the financial industry, especially for ATM deployer? The question is quite hard. How, Ms. Anis, can you hear a question?
Let me answer that part. Okay,
Alright.
for financial industry, actually we already have a solution for the banking. So for the banking part, it's more like we do the mapping, which like the location of the banks and then the location of the ATM. And then we can do, there is also an analysis for the cash in and cash out, which one is the most hotspot area. So that kind of things that we involve in the banking solution. So for the financial industry is quite, we are not really that involved in the banking one because like I said just now, banking is a non-GIS sector. So it's quite hard to convince them how good is GIS for their services. So the smallest one is we already work, I'm not sure where the country is, but we already have the successful cases for the banking. So as I said just now, it's basically for just the location of the bank, just the location of the ATM, and also analyze the hotspot area for the cash in and cash out. Yes, all for the financial industry for now.
Yeah, because in Malaysia, the GIS industry is not very, not very well known compared to the others because as we know, GIS can be, as people assumption, GIS can be only used by the geologists and other civil, engineering industry, right? But not. Actually, GIS can be undergoes in different kind of industry. So the way that we wanted to penetrate the market is very, as I can see, it's very low in demand, but can be done for that. All right, I would say can I have 2 more questions last? Do you have, if there are any question after this, you can just email me or Miss Anis, and then I will answer the question based on the email first because I don't want to drag this webinar for too long. So I will answer these last 2 questions first. So from Alia Abbas, do you foresee SuperMap or GIS to be used as personal or individual level in the future? Yes, we see. Because right now we are penetrating the market for university students. So in order for them to have the abilities to try the SuperMap products and also to be used as a government products also. My answer would be yes, you can see that SuperMap or GIS can be used for personal and also individual level. I would say if we can target for another 5 years, I would say the GIS market will be increasing by year by year. So last question, I just browsed the SuperMap website and I saw a lot of version. May I know which trial version is good for students to try and learn and get to know more about SuperMap? All right, so the one in website is the trial version for 3 months, I believe so, right, Miss Anis?
Yes. For the trial version, it's for 3 months. So you can choose if you would like to explore the desktop platform, you can choose the SuperMap iDesktop X. So it depends on your computer. So we have 64-bit and 32-bit. So your computer can support 64-bit, choose the 64-bit, 32, choose 32. And then there is also, I think you can see there is a bin, like BIN. So BIN is for the version that does not have sample data. So it will be much smaller than the one that have the sample data. So you can choose whenever that can suit your computer.
I would say if you are a programming kind of students that know geocoding languages, you can try iDesktop X. But as a freshie for GIS, you can just try iDesktop 10. Let me give it a try first. So there's also an individual package, right, that Ukaribla will explain more about this later.
Yeah. So I think that's all for our Q&A sections. The question that Ahmad asked about, maybe Ms. Najiha can answer privately.
Yeah, I will answer.
Okay. Then, lastly, for additional information, SuperMap is also currently looking for partners, resellers, and distributors to expand business in Malaysia. So please feel free to visit our website and connect with us via SuperMap Malaysia Facebook page or email, which you can saw in this slide here. And also, if you have any question for this webinar, you can also send us an email from the email address here. So SuperMap will also hold more webinars on more topics soon, and we hope to collaborate with more universities in Malaysia. These are the info for webinar collaborations and SuperMap individual package. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions or concerns. So we highly appreciate your attendance today. Feel free to visit the SuperMap website to get more information about the company. Again, thank you for attending this webinar. Hope you enjoy it, and most important, gain new knowledge about the interpretations of disaster management with GIS technologies. Also, don't forget to answer the feedback form, which you can find in the chat box, so that we can bring you a more improved webinar experience in the future. For our trial license and certificates, it will be sent in a few days via email. Please stay tuned for it. Hope to see you all again soon. Thank you and goodbye.
See, we can have like a photo session to screenshot.
If I may, I would like to thank SuperMap, Ms. Nurul Najiha, Ms. Anis, and Ms. Caribel. Very good sessions. I think perhaps a little bit technical and very scientific for us who are not from the science and technology background. But I do feel that creating awareness, especially in terms of from business perspective, location decision is a very important decision that managers need to make. And I can see that GIS would be able to help us in the future. So I hope that the audience and participants, those from AGBS especially, would take into consideration looking into this in the future. Thank you very much, SuperMap. All right. Are we going to